Welcome back. That's Marky Mark. I'm the Prince. This is the NAO in review on the NAO show. Tank Top Mike could not come this week because he is planning his tank top overthrow of the whole fantasy world now that he's been on top for the last few weeks. So we'll just let him plan his domination. How you doing there, Marky Mark?
Doing pretty well. Ready to roll. Missing Mike, but we'll manage.
We will manage this week without the Tank Top Mike and his pizzazz, as they say. Hopefully we can keep this train on the freaking crazy rails. We may go off a little bit. What do you got first thing for us, Marky Mark?
All right, let's run down the scores. We are going to start with the high score of the week. Underdogs 137. The Pooh Crew 126. So I got a quote from the Underdogs here. We got high score by 0.84 points, and don't you forget it, McJammar. So yeah, doing a lot of bragging about that high score. I needed 9 yards to beat him. I didn't quite get it. So start us off on this one, if you would, please.
Well, I like seeing that the DBs here are actually coming out of their shell. They're finally putting up the scores that we all thought they were going to put up every week. But, man, how long do you have to wait for A.J. Brown to come out of his shell this season?
Yeah.
26 points. He finally got 155 yards in a game and a tutty. And one tutty. It was only one, but shooey, it felt good to see him out there catching the fucking football, huh?
Yeah, well, he's been nursing injuries, so maybe he's finally getting back towards 100%. Good stack there they had with Tannehill and AJ kind of helped carry their day.
I love seeing the Pooh Crew lose. Man,
of course.
How was that tight end U going this year?
Tight end U. Tight end PU.
Yeah. Where's Waller the Baller these days? Oh, yeah. Wait, bottom of his bench?
Yeah, well, he was on bye, so we can't blame it on Waller, but Kelsey sure didn't do anything for him.
2.7 points. That's a whopper.
Had a fumble and just didn't do well at all. So Herbert kind of put up a stinker for him too. So yeah, kind of an off day for him as far as what he's been scoring. And Underdogs put up a good one and got him. So Najee Harris with a good game coming back off bye. So
yeah, 9.5 points. Real good day.
Yeah, they put one together. So yeah, good win for the Underdogs. So let's move on in a matchup that we're still waiting to see a stat correction. We've got Tank Top Mike losing by 0.16 to Orlando City Football Club. It was 135.66 to 135.50.
Woo!
I think I know the Underdogs lost one really close last year. That might be
Who did they lose to?
I don't. Was that you or?
No, I thought it was you.
No, it was me on one of them. But they lost one to Goofy, like maybe by 0.18. This could be like the closest one we've had. We'll get our league historian on it. Talk to Pooh Crew and see if he can get on that for us. I think that might be the closest one so far by 0.02. If my memory serves, which everybody says it doesn't because I'm an old ass MFer, but I think that this is the lowest by 0.02. I'm sure.
I feel like you got some feelings about that there, Marky Mark. Are you sure you don't want to get anything off your chest?
I'm not bitter.
Soapbox out here, and
I'm not bitter.
On.
Tell us about this one, damn it.
Well, I love seeing this matchup. This matchup was one that I was looking at going into the week, and I knew it had a nail biter written all over it. And a little bit behind the scenes, me, Mike, and Abam are all in a chat, and it was dead on Sunday. Let me tell you, they were both going, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And you know what the worst part is Gesicki had a touchdown called back on him, and that would have put Mike over the hurdle of beating A-Bomb, but golly, A-Bomb got a real good day from Cole Beasley, 16 points. He got 10 receptions, 110 yards. Then Brandon Cooks came out with a 17.3 day. He got the tutty and 83 yards. Not bad. Really, I don't know what Mike could have done any better to. He put the best team out there. So
yeah, Mahomes is letting them down some right now, and you talked about Beasley and Cooks and Cobb. So those three combined for 48.30 points. That's over a third of A-Bomb's scoring came from the unlikeliest of players. Cooks, man, thank God for garbage time, because
exactly.
I had Cooks in another league, and into the fourth quarter, I'm like, man, Cooks is gonna kill me today. And then next thing you know, he gets like 5 catches on one drive, gets the touchdown, So thank God for garbage time, LA.
This week has been crazy for garbage time because the Rams, they sat half their players, and the Eagles set half their players.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Tell me though, do garbage time points count the same as regular time points?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. So I'll take it every time, man. I mean, shoot, sometimes you plan for garbage time. You're like, man, not a great matchup, but not a great matchup, but there's garbage time written all over this one. So,
I do want to say one thing about Tank Top Mike's lineup. Let me get into this.
Oh, man.
So before the season started, there was a little trade that happened between 3 fellow people, and I was told that Michael Pittman wasn't worth the first round pick. What about now?
Yeah, he and Anna over there in Houston giggling, we got him, man, we got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were really high on him, and that I remember you really did not want to trade him.
I did not want to move him.
Yeah, and you did it, and it seems like you were right. I don't know. I mean, there's like, Campbell's out, and Hilton he can't stay in the lineup. So maybe it's about the last man standing, but I think a little bit of it's just now Wentz trusts him. He's throwing that ball up, and Pittman's coming down with it. So that could be that's a good thing for them moving forward. So I'd love to have Pittman myself, man. Maybe I should have done something different in that trade.
Hey, you can't complain. You got Zeke.
Yeah, I got Zeke. He's been doing all right. So let's move on to our next score here.
All right.
Which is the Fresh Prince of IR 112, Goofy Jace 81. So bad day for the Alabama wide receivers. You had Waddle, Judy, and Devonta combined for 12.80 points. Devontae, I guess I should have said, not Devonta.
Not good.
12.80 points between the three of them. If you average that out, it's not a lot. And you had Calvin Ridley, who steps away from football altogether. Not a good day for Alabama wide receivers. Run this one down, if you would, please, Shawn.
Well, I will say that both of us, Goofy, Jace, and me, had a real bad day, and I just so happened to be the lucky guy that had one person show up on Sunday. And well, I had 2. I had Mixon that had a really good day, and he had 23 points, and Amari Cooper, he had 22 points, which I was winning going into the night game, and I didn't need Amari Cooper or Justin Jefferson, but man, I'm glad I was, because Justin Jefferson didn't do very well. He had that one down game this year. It's okay, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I guess one Alabama receiver did all right with Amari Cooper. I kind of forgot about him. A lot of Alabama represented in this one.
Hey, I don't like where you're going with this there, Marky Mark. You might want to keep that comment to yourself.
That juggernaut in Alabama, that team, that best team in college football. Putting all these pros, giving us all these pros, all these good guys. Yeah. Your Burrow mix and stack was pretty good there. For Goofy, Hertz has his first big win in real football, and it turned out to be a sucky fantasy game.
He was sitting by the third quarter.
It's crazy,
I'm
man.
like, I'm mad. I'm mad for him, but
Yeah.
I'm getting it over here
Hertz
on my side too. Devontae Smith
Yeah.
had 3 targets because they didn't need to throw the ball at all.
They had no need to throw the ball. Hertz is such an anomaly, man, because you watch his games, you're like, man, he sucks. And then you look at his score and you're like, damn, 25 points, And
Where'd
again,
that come from?
garbage time counts just the same, right? So
He gets all those rushing yards.
Yeah, gets the rushing yards, but a lot of it comes later in the games. And this was the first one where he wasn't a quarterback one. I think, again, going from memory, but I think every other week he's been a quarterback one except this one. So, and they, they win by a lot and he doesn't do anything for him. And, just went downhill from there for Goofy. So not a great day for Goofy by any means. Not a great day for you, but one of those where you did enough to get it done.
Speaking of rushing yards for quarterbacks, what do you think about the Justin Fields? Goofy gave me him. He actually had a good day. He had 103 rushing yards.
Yeah.
103. He's a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I think the moral of that story is Matt Nagy should be on the COVID list more.
Or the unemployment line. One of them.
Yeah. He definitely should be on the unemployment line.
I heard USC needs a head coach.
Well, it's good thing there is to see that Fields, maybe if he's managed right and they call the right plays, maybe he can do a little something. Yeah. Maybe he'll let Lazor, is that his name? Lazor, whatever his name is, call the damn plays and he'll stay out of it, but he probably won't. And he'll make sure he gets himself fired and that'll be fine.
Good.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next score here. We have Silly Dilly 120, the Swamp Dick 108. So on a day where Ricky loses Henry and probably his best chance for a championship, Dylan just keeps on rolling. Start us off on this one, Shawn.
Well, I feel bad for Swamp Dick. He was in rebuild at the beginning of the year. Made some big moves to get some big names, Derrick Henry being one of them. And then him being a Titans fan and seeing his guy going down, I will die on the hill that Derrick Henry should still get MVP, because wait and see what that team looks like without Derrick Henry running the rock. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly.
It changes the dynamic on offense for sure.
And then his top wide receiver, well, his used to be top wide receiver, DJ Moore, he had a down game, 7.9 points against Atlanta. Against Atlanta?
Yeah.
You see a guy going up against Atlanta, you're going, all right, let's go. I got a 20 burger coming in.
I think he had a touchdown called back, which was a pretty egregious call. I don't know what the hell they were looking at. He got both feet in, and it was like they were counting his third step as being out of bounds. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
It was a horrible. I think you watched some of that game.
Yeah, you and I were watching the same game, and I was like, that's a touchdown. That's a total touchdown.
That would have had him closer for sure. But yeah, just a horrible call there, man.
Good things are on the rise though, because Michael Carter, running back from the New York Jets that he got back from me, he put up 27 points. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah. What is it? 9 catches for 95 yards. So he did it more in the receiving game, and Mike White, checking down, and that's a good thing moving forward. But losing his top one there in Henry, that's definitely that's a tough blow for him. And you look on Dylan's side, Lockett finally had a day. I'm sure, I don't even know if he's been playing him. I haven't paid that much attention, but I was surprised when I looked down to see, okay, he did have Lockett in there, because I sure wouldn't have started Lockett. Maybe he didn't have any better choice
You didn't have any other options.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, my prep was not what it usually is. I've been so busy at work, I didn't get a chance to look down. But I skimming through, I was like, wow, he had Lockett in there. Okay, that probably put him over the top. Lockett had a day. Damian Harris had a pretty good day. Damian Harris, RB16 right now. RB16.
That can't be right.
What does that equate to? RB16. I think that's in the RB2 range, isn't it? Kind of a mid-range RB2, or maybe a high RB2. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Good thing we're only halfway through the season. We'll see how this one rolls.
Not a lot of yards, but he did have a touchdown. He actually had, dude, his day could have been so good he might have been an RB1 by now. He had a long run call back from a hold. He had a touchdown call back with a hold. So his day could have been nice if those refs had kept that flag in their pocket. But yeah, look at this, man. Silly dilly. He is rolling on. Ricky started off really well this season, and it's been a little bit shaky. He made a few moves. He was trying to stay in there, and now he lost Henry. So that's a tough blow, man.
It's gonna be tough for him to. It's tough for anybody to take up a number one running back, but when you're getting 30 points from a guy and he goes down, as you know very well with CMC last year.
Oh yeah.
That's a tough hole to fill.
Well, yeah, I got CMC in another league, and it's like I was 2-0 starting out, and then since he went out, I'm 1-4, So yeah, CMC goes, I go, and same thing with Henry for a lot of teams, not just Ricky's. All right, man, let's go on to our last score of the week, which is the Tough Luck Kid. 136.46. As I said, man, only 0.84 points out of top score for the week. 49.68 for FNG. So I didn't get much from my studs, but luckily I stayed on brand and I shored up that flex.
Damn.
Trademark. Meanwhile, I think FNG set a record low in the NAO. Run this one down for us, Shawn.
Who knew that Boston Scott was going to have a day? He had 18 points on FNG's bench.
Yeah.
That would have been more than half his team.
Yeah. Yeah. Would have kept them out of that bad record.
Not to add a little air to your balloon, but you had a really good day with nobody, like your top guys not doing anything.
Oh, I mean, Kyler on Thursday, I thought, oh, damn, here we go again. I'm going to be the only guy to lose to FNG all damn season.
With 2 wins, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, yeah, 2 wins, both against me. Keep me out of the playoffs and everything, right? Yeah, yeah. No, it was, yeah. And Kyler got dinged up a little bit in that game, which was, didn't help things any. But yeah, Elliott didn't have much of a game there. McLaurin was horrible. Basically, of course, good defense there in Denver. So yeah, it was all about those flex guys I had. So yeah, and and my Denver defense, 17 points.
17 points, big deal.
Defense score 17. That cures a lot of ills from these other guys. So yeah, it was a tough one for FNG, man. That's sad. I'm sure.
Now Robinson's questionable.
Yeah.
Back.
Right. And he's been playing well for him. So yeah, that's not looking too good for him. Hey, maybe Boston Scott goes in there, and does he have the backup to Henry? McNichols? Does he have him?
He does. He does
right.
have McNichols.
That's right. So maybe some of these backup RBs will start doing it.
Starting running back.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the Mr. Miyagi ass waxing of the week, which is no fun when FNG is putting out who he is putting out on this roster. Poor guy, man. We all know he's in rebuild, so
can't hold it against him.
We'll move off of that, and we'll go to a new segment called "What's Your Excuse?"
What's your excuse?
So, Goofy Chase, What's your excuse? I rounded you up to 81, but you didn't quite hit 81.
That's not even, you're not even following rounding rules, and you gave him 81.
81, so not too good. So I asked Goofy if he'd like to make a little statement, and he gave me this little nugget. He said, I'd like to thank FNG for being in the league and keeping me from the Miyagi.
Very nice of him to say that.
And he said, I'm trying to get Ricky Williams in touch with Calvin Ridley so he can give him advice on some stress management. So, Goofy, what's your excuse? Come on, man. Let's see a little better than that.
Come on, man.
All right. All right, let's move on to the standings. If you want to start looking at those, Shawn, tell us what stands out in the standings.
Let's jump into these standings. It's getting hot in these standings, Marky Mark. I don't know if you've given it a look, but I'm going to go from the bottom up. We got at 10, FNG at 1-7. I think he's got another win in him. Come on, FNG, get one more at least. Make me look good.
You called it.
The Underdogs, they got a win this week. They went to 3-5 to be tied at 8th place with the Tough Luck Kid that got a win also. He went to 3-5. But here's the kicker there, Marky Mark.
Yeah.
4
we don't have kickers.
4-4. We have 4 teams at 4-4.
Yes, sir.
We have me, the Fresh Prince of Hilaire, not IR. Goofy Jace, Swamp Dick, or Humpty, as we like to call him, or Douche Canoe.
The Douche Canoe.
The Douche Canoe. And Orlando City Football Club that forgets that he's actually playing fantasy football and not fantasy soccer. We are all tied at 4-4.
Wow. Log jam right there.
It's going to come down to a horse race. Who's going to have the best end of the season? Who's going to stay out of that injury-prone IR? It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun end of the season. But I guess we have to talk to the top 3 guys also. The Pooh Crew gets the I think he lost, right? He lost and went.
Yeah. Interesting thing there. I guess he only had 2 losses last year. And he's already got 3 this year, halfway through the season, huh?
Then he's at 3rd at 5-3. Then at 2nd with a miserable points for 921. Let me tell you. All right. Guess how many points I have this year? Give me a guess there, Marky Mark.
I'm going to say
918. 918.
You got 918?
I have 918 points. I'm in 7th place. Right about where you probably should be with that many.
So he's got 3 more points. And what place was he in again?
He's tied for 1st place.
Tied for 1st place. Wow.
2.
No, I mean, wow. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say. Say what you're going to say.
Trash.
Hot trash.
Mike would like me to tell everybody he's still on top.
Yeah.
Still number 1 at 6-2.
So he's got Dylan by points, I guess, huh?
Yeah. You can say that.
Got him by points. Let me look at the math.
How many points? That's got to be pretty close, right? They're tied in record. They have to be pretty close in points, right?
Hang on. Can
you do that quick math real quick?
256.62.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
He's got him by 256.62. So yeah, he's barely hanging on to that 1st place right there. But look at this. I mean, on the bright side for Dylan, if he can outscore Mike over the next 7 weeks by 37 points per matchup, then he'll be right there. He'll be right there.
He could definitely not do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, Dylan, he's doing his thing, man. I mean, you're talking bad about him, but he's doing his thing. He's up there at 6-2 and he's knocking on the door. He's right there. So, 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256.62. 256. me at 3-5 and down there in 8th place, I've only got 162 points more than he does. So, that's not much, man. He's right there. He's right there. He's just on the cusp of something great this year. So,
but he has such a great team.
well,
No.
He's doing his thing. He got 120. He outdid his average per week so far with 120. It's pretty, he's doing
6 total points.
He's doing what he's got to do. He's 6-2. He's going to be tough to knock out of there. So,
man, I really feel like there's going to be a fall from grace coming. You know how last year Tank Top Mike or
oh yeah, I do remember
Frank's Beauties last year. He was
Frank's
in 4th
Beauties,
place.
yeah.
And then he went, woo.
Yeah, I think he had been up to 3rd, maybe even 2nd, and went back down. But I don't know, man. We're over halfway through, and he's in 2nd place. Dylan's going to be tough to take out of there.
Twice. He can't help who he's facing,
Yeah, he's going to be tough to take out of there.
His record is 6-2, but to say that he's not getting a little bit of luck is just asinine.
No, I mean, he's setting the right lineups, and I think, man, he's doing a good job. I'm gonna take up for our boy. He's doing
all right. You job, can. Wait till we get into next week's matchup.
Yeah, points aren't everything. Dylan he embodies that. So, all right, let's go on to some trades, man. We got 2 trades to talk about this week.
Yeah, these trades are going to be good, man.
We got a Halloween trade. That was kind of fun.
Ooh, spooky.
Right there before game time, we had one come through. So Goofy Jace received Emmanuel Sanders, Jamal Agnew, and a 2022 first rounder.
Which is Humpty.
That was Humpty's. Underdogs received Mike Evans, Hayden Hurst, and a 2023 third rounder, which was Goofy's.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on this trade, Shawn?
I like this trade for both sides, actually. Now knowing a little bit more about this trade actually happened before Derrick Henry went down. And now looking at it after Derrick Henry went down, and now Humpty's kind of fire sailing his team, that first round pick next year is going to be pretty high, I think.
Could be.
And he moved a piece that's older, Mike Evans, and Mike Evans is kind of touchdown dependent for his points, being on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers side. I thought going into this week that I would have to face Mike Evans, and I wasn't very scared of facing him because he was going up against Lattimore, and he doesn't do well against him.
Not many do.
He's played him like 8 times and hasn't done very well at all. But he would have been better to start than Emmanuel Sanders, but Emmanuel Sanders is having a good year, and no one knew he was going to put up a donut. So I like this trade for both sides. Goofy gets another first-round pick. He has a few going in next year. And then the Underdogs get a piece that they can work with. Their team's just drastically underperforming this year.
Yeah. Goofy, looking down his draft capital was always kind of boring because he had all his own picks. His first, second, third, fourth, fifth rounder in every
His team was getting old. He needed to do something.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He wasn't doing anything, and it was just his picks. He didn't really have anybody else's picks because he wasn't really trading with anybody. And now you look down through, and he's got some good draft capital going. So I kind of like the move because, like you said, Evans getting a little bit older. He's competing for targets on that team, and he gets 2 guys in Sanders and Agnew that are getting good targets, and it's sort of like a 2-for-1 deal. Those names aren't as big, but they're guys he can plug right in, and he gets the first to boot. So I liked it. The Underdogs are still trying to compete, and they got Evans in there, and he'll have better days. I mean, he got a touchdown and he had a decent day, but he'll have better days. you know how it is with Tampa. Me with Godwin, I've had some down days, I've had some great days, and they'll do the same with Evans there. So you put him in there and you just hope for the good days. So yeah, I liked it for both sides, and interesting to see Goofy starting to make some moves like this where he's looking ahead a little bit now. He's looking to the future, because I think we all knew that the average age of his roster, if he just went down swinging with that, it was going to be tough for him. So
Yeah.
he's made some moves and got some draft capital, getting guys like Sanders and Agnew. He's still got guys he can throw in there. So
He was at a point where he either had to go all in for this season and sell the house to get some guys, or do what he's doing is kind of selling off pieces, getting some draft capital, get some in his team.
Yeah. I like the Kamara move too when he made that. You know, you gotta pick your point and where you can sell high. If you wait too long, then that opportunity slips right away. So
I agree.
I would have tried. I think it could have maybe sold a little higher on this one, but it's not a bad one. I really don't think it's a bad trade for both sides. So, all right, man, let's move on. We got one more trade here that happened just today.
Speaking of selling the house to win this year,
Swamp Dick declared fire sale today after losing Henry, which we've talked about. And he traded with Tank Top Mike. So Swamp Dick, the douche canoe, got Christian Kirk, Olamide Zacchaeus. I don't know if I got that name right or not. Zacchaeus, I think. And he got a 2023 first rounder from Tank Top Mike. Tank Top Mike gets DJ Moore. So nice trade here. What do you think, Shawn?
Hot news coming right in.
All right. Let's hear it.
Tank Top Mike says, hello, NAO League. You snooze, you lose. Ha ha, I'm first place. This guy, so humble. So humble.
Yeah, it's touching. It's really touching.
Last week, he gets a Stephon Diggs. This week, he gets DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Next week, he might get freaking Jamar Chase. Who knows?
No. He's not going to get Jamar Chase.
Oh, no.
I know. He's not going to get Jamar Chase. But yeah, good one for him. Huh?
Selling the house to win this year, and really looking at it, DJ Moore is not a good piece to have moving forward. He's not that old. I think he's 25. He's going to hit his stride in Carolina, and I think it was a great move for both sides. Swamp Dick gets a good pick in 23, a couple guys that he can throw in now to get to the draft capital. But yeah, I like it for both sides.
Yeah. Well, DJ Moore has been that guy that it's been either bad quarterback play or just misuse, and you know, he's been up and down because of it. But probably one of the better dynasty assets to have. I made a run at him too, but didn't get it done. And I would have liked to have him. And I will say he does have a tough schedule, especially in the playoffs. So, but you know, staying on brand and shoring up that flex, you know, it's a guy that he can plug in there. And if he does DJ Moore things, he can win him some weeks, help win him some weeks. So, and again, moving forward in Dynasty, there's better days ahead for him.
Oh yeah,
I hope it comes soon, because I think we've all been calling for the DJ Moore big breakout, but every year it seems like there's something kind of hindering it. So, but yeah, I definitely would have loved to have DJ Moore on my squad for sure. Christian Kirk, I like a lot. I think that once we get guys like AJ Green and Nuke move on there, you know, he could definitely move up. He's doing okay. He's had a good season, you know, little boomer bust, but that seems to be Arizona this year. It's like, it's like they spread it around. So one guy this week, another guy next week, but Kirk has been steady with the targets and production. So I think that'll kind of continue.
Percentage too.
Yeah. I don't know about the Zacchaeus guy. I mean, seems like we would have seen it if we were going to, but you got Tajay Sharp in there kind of being the, he was their lead guy last week. They double team Pitts and shut him down. So I don't know about Zacchaeus, but that first rounder is going to be nice. Might not be a high one if Tank Top Mike stays on top. He is on top, right? I think.
Yeah, I think
what he said. Is that what he told us? That he's on
I think
top?
he's let us know that.
Still on top? Yeah. So
the top and Tank Top is his actual standings. That's Tank, then he's on top, Michael.
Yeah, there you go. But it's still a first rounder. So good little piece to have there. All right, let's move on to the matchups for next week.
Week 9.
Yeah, week 9 goes fast, doesn't it? We wait and wait for it to start, and then it just bam, it's gone. We're already over halfway through, going into week 9. All right, let's start with the Marky Mark matchup of the week. I'm going to give it to myself this week. I got the Tough Luck Kid going up against the Pooh Crew. This is a big one here because me at 3-5, I need a win real bad to stay relevant. I've been on a little bit of a roll here with 3 wins. Pooh Crew with 3 losses already, like we talked about. Gonna be a big matchup to see who can stay up there in the hunt. What do you think about it?
Well, I think you're going to need a couple of his guys to underperform to get the W, but I totally agree with you that you need to continue your winning ways, and he needs to continue his losing ways because he is Pooh Crew, and we all love it when he loses. When the Pooh Crew loses, everybody wins a little bit.
There you go.
I hope Kyler comes back for you this week with no problems. You're gonna need him to airball it out there and get those points for you. For him on his side, I really hope Robert Woods doesn't come out and have a big old game like he did last week. And Darren Waller, the baller, hopefully it's somebody else's day.
Well, I'll have to see if he plays.
We'll see what happens. That's why you put a team out there. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's tough for me to come up against him this week with Godwin and McLaurin on bye. Although McLaurin's been a little bit dinged up and down, so maybe I'm almost happy that I don't have to decide if I want to play him or not. And he'll get a little bit of rest and maybe come back a little stronger. Godwin, of course, was killing it, especially with AJ out, or not AJ, but Antonio Brown, Antonio Brown out. So that one hurts a little bit. He's got DK Metcalf out on bye. He's got Samuel and Waller questionable. I've got Kyler with an ankle. So, there's a lot going on in both of our lineups here, and we'll have to see how it shakes out and how it looks, more towards game time to see what's going on there. If Waller's out, man, I'm going to fire up Foster Morrow. I told you last week, I said to you and Mike in the chat that finally people will see why I've been stashing Foster Morrow all these years in 2 dynasty leagues. He could be, a number 1 on many teams, but he's been playing behind Waller. But, he had a good game last week with Waller out. So if Waller wants to rest up again, I'm fine with that. And I'll put Morrow out there and see what he can do. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how all this shakes out by the end of the week. So
where do you think you're going to go with the flex spot with Kittle being on IR?
Yeah, I got him in there right now. He's supposed to be practicing this week. That's one of those things I'm saying that, we'll have to see how it looks by the end of the week. Right now, they're saying he could be practicing. Now, if he has a setback like McCaffrey did when he was coming into practice, then, might be sitting again and lose, not getting anything out of there. But yeah, if he comes in and even if I play him in a tight end spot, if he's able to get in there and play, could be a boost for me there. So Flex spot's going to be tough though. Without Godwin, without McLaurin, I'm looking at like Javonte Williams, who's in a timeshare with Jordan. I'm looking at Tim Patrick, who maybe could do something against Dallas because they'll focus on Sutton probably. Judy would be the next guy, and maybe Patrick just kind of gets that default 4 or 5 catches and the touchdown. So yeah, it's a lot up in the air, man. It's a big one for me. I had 3 in a row, and then I come into this week with 2 guys on bye and looking at one of the guys in the playoffs, in a playoff hunt right now up there towards the top. So it's going to be a tough one. So, all right, let's move on. Moving on. As Evan said several times last week. Moving on. He got me good. He was playing with his hair a lot too. I was like, dude, why are you messing with the bank so much? Do I do that? And I just didn't even realize it. Like I have a nervous habit. And he's like, nah, man, I just never wear my hair like that. It was all in my eyes. And
to go totally off script, I want to just say that I hadn't laughed that hard in a long time.
Nah, that was good.
And Ian, Evan, or Brandon that did it. It was Brandon's wife. When she comes in and she goes, no kink shaming, I died. Oh man, I had to stop. I stopped the video. I was laughing so hard, tears were coming out of my eyes. It was hilarious.
Dude, my jaw was like hanging. I was slack, and I was like, I can't believe they nailed it, man. They nailed it. So good on them, man. It's that's still pinned. I'll keep it pinned for usually after the week. I'll unpin all that stuff. I'll keep that pinned for a few weeks and make sure everybody gets a chance to see it. So that was some good stuff.
If you haven't seen it yet, and you got about a half hour, it's worth the time.
That was some good stuff. That was fun, man. That was fun. All right, let's move on, man. We're time's a wasting here. So we got the underdogs going up against FNG. So yeah, probably not a whole lot to say about this one. What do you think there, Shawn?
No, I think even with the buys of Gibson and Hawkinson and Evans, I still don't think that's enough for FNG to come through and get the W this week. Well, I mean, anything could happen. It is the DBs, and they have been underperforming a lot this year, but I doubt it. They're going to underperform enough to be beaten by FNG this week.
Yeah, a lot better matchup for them. We're both of us at 3 and 5 and trying to stay afloat, and a lot better matchup for them than it is for me coming into this week. So FNG does get Lamar back, so maybe he'll do better than 50 points this week. But it's going to have to be one of those perfect storms if FNG is going to get a second win. So I'm not going to call it because you guys were calling it when I played FNG that week, and he put up 145. So he's got another one in there somewhere. He's going to hit it at some point. So maybe after this week, and the shame of scoring actually less than 50 points, he'll be trying to do his homework. He's going to try to at least hit century mark if he can. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, man, I'll tell you, I might be looking up at the underdogs after this week if things work out, poorly for me and well for them. And then, looking up at the underdog, that's not a good view, man. Just not a good view.
Nah. It's not as shiny as I've heard as FNG's backside is with all these Miyagi awards.
Oh yeah, man.
The ass shinings.
Good point. All those ass waxings, man. Yeah, dude, if you're walking behind FNG at work these days, you got to wear some shades because that ass has a shine. It has a shine on it, man.
Losing in fantasy again, I see FNG.
I was like, dude, cinch up that belt because it's the light is just leaking up out. out of your waistband there, man. Come on, dude. Yeah. Well, all right, let's move on to the next one here. Moving on. We go we go to Orlando City Football Club versus Goofy J. So this is a good one here. This was almost my Marky Mark matchup because you got two teams at 4-4 trying to stay afloat in the playoff race. What do you see here, Shawn?
I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be one of the closest games on the week. I think it's going to really come down to the RB2 position. Is Cordell Patterson going to come up and be RB1? And is Johnson going to be able to carry that RB2 position for the Orlando City Football Club?
Yeah.
We'll have Devontae Adams back from COVID, and that'll be good for the football club, but we don't know what Mike Williams is going to do. Mike Williams has been this enigma. He either scores 30 points or nothing, it seems like. If it's a down week for Mike Williams, football club has a chance. If Williams has a good day and the defense of the Philadelphia Eagles don't score 70 points in the first half and sit Hurts, Goofy might have a good day. This is going to come down to the last minute, I think. Another nail biter for the Orlando City Football Club this week, I think.
Yeah, this is a key matchup in the league for sure. So I'll be watching that.
I would like
closely.
both of them to lose.
Well, yeah, me too. Sitting at 3-5, if I can keep pace with them, yeah, one of them's going to lose, and I'll be close to him one way or another, but the other's going to jump up. So yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one in that 4-4 logjam to see who stays in that playoff race. So I'll be watching this one really closely. Should be a good one. All right, let's move on to our fourth matchup of the week, which is Tank Top Mike versus Swamp Dick. So we already talked about Humpty being in fire sale mode, and he traded one of his best players to Tank Top Mike to make it easier for him to lose. So what do you say?
Well, there's one rule that I tried to live by in fantasy football, and that is not to trade a guy to the team I'm about to play because you know he's going to go off.
Amen.
And the crazy thing is, Mike might not even play him because he might not need to play him. I mean, his flex players are Claypool, which I would consider DJ Moore over Claypool.
Yeah.
Because Claypool is playing Chicago and they play pretty hard defense. But Pittman, they're playing the New York Jets. Sutton could be a guy that you might want to play DJ Moore over because Denver's playing Dallas, and Dallas has been playing really good defense lately. But I don't think Humpty's done selling pieces off. So I think this is going to be a pretty clear-cut win by the second game.
Well, yeah, I guess, he took the deal. He took I know that there were probably 4 or 5 of us, including myself, trying to get in on the DJ Moore sweepstakes.
You got feelings about that, Marky Mark.
Of course, I think the first sweepstakes was for Pitts, which everybody was rejected or denied. And they were like, all right, I'll take DJ off your hands if you want. So yeah, man, Mike got in there and got that done. I don't know how many were trying, but I know that there were a few at least. So probably just happenstance that it worked out that way. I don't even know if Humpty knew he was playing them. So, but yeah, that's certainly not going to help him any in trying to beat Tank Top Mike. So it probably has to be an implosion for Tank Top Mike if he's going to lose this one to Humpty now. But we'll see, man. Humpty will keep competing, I'm sure, man. He's not going to just roll over and lay down. But I think he knows that without Henry in there, that that
the writing is on the wall, as they say.
Yeah. So, All right, let's move on to our last matchup of the week. This one here, I think the whole league is going to be excited for. I think we're all going to be watching this one so closely, and there'll probably be a lot of chat about it. This is Silly Dilly versus the Fresh Prince of IR. So right now, as I look at it, it's the 2 tight end flex for
Woo, that's
Silly
gonna help
Dilly.
him.
We got 3, count them, 3 tight ends in the lineup right now. Maybe he's still working with it, but we got the 2 tight end flex versus his former Alabama wide receivers that he's traded to you, which we just talked about, comes back to haunt you sometimes. Fresh Prince of IR, tell us, Shawn, why are you going to win this one?
Well, I'm gonna
How?
actually have a down day, but still stomp a freaking mud hole in Silly Dilly's backside. Let me tell you,
Wait a minute.
those
Wait a
2
minute.
tight
Wait a
ends
minute.
are.
He scored 120 this week. I think his average is up to 116, maybe 117
Woo, that's a
points.
tall order to
116, but he raised his average this week, man.
golly.
116 points per game. So I'm sorry. Continue. Tell us
I
about
don't
that
know
mud
if I
hole.
can reach 116 points, but I'll try. I mean, the one thing I am looking at is Jalen Waddle. He had a bunch of targets last week, and he only
Yeah.
had 4 catches. I was trying to scour the fan base and see what was happening. Maybe Tua was trying to zip him in there against Buffalo. And they were just bad throws when you shouldn't have been throwing it to him, and he just gets the targets. But there's been a couple other games where he's had high targets and high catches. So hopefully against a crappy defense in Houston, he can make up those points and get those catches, because there's been a few games where he's had over 10 points and no touchdowns because he's been catching the ball. So I was wondering what was happening over there in Miami last week, but we'll see what happens in Houston. I really, really don't think his tight end crew is gonna be enough to get over on me, and I think I'm gonna. It's gonna be a fun weekend, I think.
You're looking at it. So let's name off those 3 tight ends. Who's he
All
got
right,
in the
so
tight end spot?
in his tight end spot, he has Zach Ertz. They're
Zach
going up
Ertz.
against
Not a
San
bad play.
Francisco.
Yeah, okay. Not a bad
Going
play.
up against San Francisco.
He's been involved in the offense. That's good.
Hunter Henry
Hunter
going up
Henry.
against Carolina.
Ooh,
He's projected to have a whopping, wait for it, 7.9 points.
that's a tough defense too. That's a tough defense.
And Tom Higbee going up against Tennessee.
Mm.
We'll
And
see.
Higbee's been kind of, as our buddy Tank Top Mike says, hot dog shit. So
Yes, he has 1 week over 10 points, so that's going well for him. That'll really work out for him.
well, who would you flex in? I mean, would you put anybody in over those guys? You got any better plays there?
Well, I mean, seeing how he doesn't have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers players to tap into.
That's right. No Brady. So he's playing Wentz this week.
That is, it's tough sledding, as they say.
I wonder if Wentz does another one of these left-handed throws to a defensive player. He's done 2 weeks in a row. He's done this little, it's like, get it out of here, get the ball. It's like the ball was hot lava.
No, he should do. He should start OBJ because he's been fire all season long.
Oh yeah. Oh, OBJ. Now that's not much of a better flex option. Who else he got, man?
He doesn't have anybody because his team's hot dog shit.
Well,
Oh, wait.
He's got some.
James Crowder, he's projected to have 6.4 points against Indianapolis.
Well, it might not be a bad play.
Damian Harris, he's going up against Atlanta.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I like Damian Harris. So.
What's that?
I like Damian Harris, but I was just trying to think, with Higbee and
Ruggs ain't doing
Henry injury. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the Ruggs thing, man. That's really sad. That's just really sad, man. I hate. That's what I hate in fantasy. I don't want to ever see a player have to go through crap like that. It's a shame. And then, fantasy managers have to deal with it too. And, I don't wish that kind of luck on anybody. Injuries and crap like that, I hate, so
Yeah.
we're not going to make fun of that. That's an unfortunate situation. But yeah, I just wondering, Henry, and if you're flexing in Henry and
He doesn't have very many
Higbee, then yeah, I'm thinking, are there better options or not? So yeah, that's a tough week. He's catching on a tough week for him, man. That's for sure.
If for some reason I lose, there has to be some sort of fix on this.
Yeah, dude, he's got like he's the dude with the chicken foot and the bat,
What's up?
He's doing that voodoo shit, man. He's home doing that voodoo shit. He probably got him a little Shawn doll at home, putting pins in her right now.
Yeah.
Or he's got your players, he's got all your players. Devontae Smith, I traded his ass. Boink, Yeah, man, I'll tell you. Judy too. He traded you Judy.
Yes,
and man, see if it comes back to haunt him or not. Dude, it's gonna be fun, man, because
it's gonna be a great week. It's gonna be a great week.
One thing we can all count on is the trash talk.
Yes.
And what are we here
for? Good trash talk when Silly Dilly's throwing it at you, but
what are we here for?
He tried,
What are we here for if it's not the trash talk, man? It's gonna be fun. We're all gonna have our popcorn watching you guys go at it, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
a real good time, I think.
I usually tune out the chat on game day, but I may have to keep up with it this week, man, because it's gonna be fun. So,
all right, that's the NAO show, and we went into week 8, and you found out that week 9 is gonna be a murder fest for the Silly Dilly's squad because he's starting 3 fucking tight ends. And if you forgot, Ian, you suck.